friends, today we are heading to Busch Gardens in Tampa for the first portion of this video. We are going out to Busch Gardens today for a day of big boy rides and thrills. There are some cool rides that they've got there and some really good rides as well that we've not even ridden yet as well.
Yeah.
So there's a few new ones there for us today.
There is indeed.
So when we went there last time, we we got a taxi. There was 4 of us, so we split the cost between us. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
This time there's only 2 of us, and getting a Lyft or an Uber out there is coming out quite expensive. Now Tampa is about an hour's drive away from the Disney area, so we've decided to hire a car to get ourselves out there. So we're going to hire a car and drive ourselves out to Tampa.
We are indeed. So we hired the car from Alamo on Disney property. There's Alamo Enterprise and National, all within Disney Car Care. The rental itself was actually really easy. I just did it online, reserved it, and then had to pay when I got here. You do need a valid driving license and a debit card in the main driver's name. As part of the policy, there was an option to add on fuel. I think it was $6 or £6, and that is a fuel tank of fuel and insurance as well. So it made total sense for us to add that on. So yeah, in total it came out to around £60 or $80-ish. So it's worked out a lot cheaper than getting an Uber or a Lyft there and back, because that's about $100 each way. So we'll head over now and find the car.
It was a very easy process. You have to give them some of your information, like flight numbers and when you're leaving and things like that. Tell them what resort you're staying in. But once you've done all of that, yeah, they just give you the key and you're done.
Here it is.
This is what we got?
Yeah.
This little thing.
Let's see.
I thought we were going to get like a big SUV.
No.
Look at this smart little number.
Nice, isn't it?
Ooh, driving in style. Cool, let's get going. Alright, go on then. There it is.
There we go.
How long is it saying?
It says destination. Close. Hour 15.
Hour 15 minutes, okay. A little bit further than I thought.
Probably a bit of traffic on the way.
Yeah.
Stark Gardens.
So we've arrived, we're here at Busch Gardens in Tampa. It took us it said about an hour and 15 minutes drive, didn't it?
Yeah.
It took us about an hour in the end.
It took about an hour.
Matt did all the driving, so how was it?
Absolutely fine. It was straight down the I-4. It's a really easy drive actually. So yeah, there was no issues for me driving here. I'm quite a confident driver anyway, but I'd imagine that, you know, I didn't find that drive difficult.
It was your first time driving the US, how was that?
Absolutely fine. Yeah, really easy.
Were you worried about it?
A little bit. Some of the junctions were a bit confusing because they're not obviously what I'm used to in the UK, but once you get your head around it, it's fine.
Awesome. So yeah, so we've made it over to Busch Gardens, so let's get in. And we're in the park. It was a very easy entry procedure. You do have to go through a security, but it's as efficient. It's as efficient as Disney.
It was efficient,
yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just walk straight through, and then get your ticket scanned, which was easy, and then you're straight in. So there's no massive queuing and stuff like that. I'd actually say the entry procedure here is actually a lot easier than Universal's.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But then again, on saying that, potentially they don't get the crowds that Universal get.
Yeah,
so,
potentially.
So it may be that may be the reason. I think we're going to start the day with Cheetah Hunt, which is the park's family thrill offering. So we'll start it off there. This park, if you don't know it very well, is very much like I want to use the term quite loosely, but to describe it to a park in the UK, it's a bit like Chessington in the way that it's got rides and it's got animals and all that kind of thing. So it's got live animals and stuff here as well. So it's got like a zoo portion to it as well that's all mingled in with the rides and stuff. So it's a bit like Chessington that way, but the rides here are a lot bigger than the Chessington rides. But yeah, so it takes that kind of form, Busch Gardens. So the first ride we're going to hit, as I said, is Cheetah Hunt, which is their family thrill offering. So it's an Intamin launch coaster. I think it's got 3 launches on it.
Yeah,
hasn't it? So yeah, so that's where we're going to kick off the day.
See where we go from there.
Yeah, and then just over here, just as you're coming round to the entrance of Cheetah Hunt, just opposite, they've got, what have they got?
Cheetahs.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cheetahs, there you go.
Thought?
Who would have thought? Just trying to see if I can see some now. So yeah, so it's very much that kind of zoo / safari park / theme park all rolled into one.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. My name is Josh. I'm one of the trainers here at Cheetah Run. We're here setting up to run one of our youngest cheetahs here today. We have 9 cheetahs total that live here at Busch Gardens. If you've been to the park before, you probably walked by and seen only 1 or 2 cheetahs up here at a time. It's because they're all separated into different social groups. They like to see each other, but they don't like to be in the same space. Dash is the cheetah we're going to meet today. Dash is currently behind the scenes in this yard behind me, and he lives with his brother Chase. Both of them are in different stages of learning to do a cheetah run. Dash is almost fully trained as one of our best runners, so you guys are here at a really good time. Now, when we teach our cheetahs to run, it sounds silly, but we teach them from square one. We teach them how to be the best runners that they can be, because just like you and I, we have to learn to first walk and then run. Out in Africa, it's a different scenario. Basically, if you don't learn to run, you don't catch your food. And if you don't catch your food, you don't survive. Here, it is not like our dad. Our cheetahs get 100% of their diet and extra health care throughout every single day of their life. And we make sure that all of this running and all of these different behaviors that we train them are for fun and for energy, excitement, all that good stuff. Our oldest cheetah, she is 13 years old. She is our record holder. She is still running to this day, and she has been clocked with a radar gun running 64 miles per hour. If that's not impressive, cheetahs can go from 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds flat. That's incredible. That's what we hope to show off for you guys here today. How many people have rode on Cheetah Hunt before? Quite a few hands, fantastic. One of my favorite rides here at the park. And that launch right behind you guys is the same system of 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. So if you want to feel what a cheetah feels, hop on Cheetah Hunt. But if you're here to see it in action, this is one of the best places to be. Here at the park, the way we train our cheetahs to run is using some machinery and some pulleys. My trainers across this habitat are setting up for this cheetah run right now. Basically, there's this long green string that is taken to the end of the habitat, and then we place some pulleys into the ground to set up the course that we wish for the cheetah to run. It can be around the tree, it can be around a rock, it can be zigzag patterns, but for speed and acceleration, we like to do down and back because there's no obstacles in their way. So once the string is brought back through those pulleys, it is wrapped around that machine at the end of the habitat. The machine is how we are able to make these cheetah runs happen. It's a wheel connected to a motor, so it spins forwards and backwards, and it's controlled by a remote control. The remote control is very simple. It goes forwards, backwards, and it's got a button for go. That's it. Sounds easy, sounds fun. It's not simple though, it's actually very difficult to learn. Basically that machine is connected to a car battery and it can go faster than a cheetah. But our cheetahs are not chasing after food. Instead, we've trained all of our cheetahs to chase after a bundle of feathers. That's called a lure. So the bundle of feathers is 5 or 6 bird feathers tied together with some string and then attached to this green string here. It is sent through the track, and it is up to the machine runner to be skilled at keeping the feathers right in front of the cheetah until they're at that top speed, and then you let him catch the feathers. So what that means is over time we have to build up that confidence, that endurance, and that agility with each of our individual cheetahs. So if they run at 30 miles an hour and we let them catch it, we then raise the bar to 40 and keep going until we see all those quintessential cheetah adaptations all working together to get to that top speed. When they're running that fast, they can actually clear 23 feet in one stride. That's from that rock here to that rock over there. So they can cover distance because they can jump across the ground. A lot of our guests ask, how high can a cheetah jump? Only from about down there to up here, it's about 6 feet. The cheetah behind the scenes actually likes to hop up in that tree and sit in that tree to watch our guests. So if you ever see Dash up in the tree, it's a great picture as well. So Being that cheetahs are made for speed, they are sprinters, not marathon runners. So this presentation is probably going to be pretty short. Cheetahs can only run for about 30 seconds to a minute at tops. That's because it takes so much energy to get to those amazing top speeds. But the thing about cheetahs is that they are different than other cats out in Africa, being that they are one of the most successful hunters in Africa. They will catch their food 50% of the time. So lions and tigers have a much lower success rate. Think about a pride of lions. There's usually about 10 lionesses all working together. They only catch their food about 20 to 30% of the time. Tigers, on the other hand, only catch their food about 10% of the time. So cheetahs are so successful because they chase after food that other animals cannot catch. Impala and gazelle, if we know what that is, they can run up to 50 miles an hour in a straight stretch. But impalas are not going to go in a straight line. They have to bounce back and forth to avoid the cheetah. So we train our cheetahs how to be able to turn on a dime. So their tail is one of the coolest things on a cheetah. When we watch Dash run, I encourage you to watch his tail. If a cheetah's tail is out straight, they are accelerating, they are going faster. When they put on the brakes, that tail goes right up in the air. It's very powerful and it's got a fluffy ball on the end because that tail works like a rudder on a boat. When they turn back and forth and they try to chase after their prey, they will spin their tail in the opposite direction of the way that they're turning to keep their balance. So 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was really cool to see. He really went, didn't he?
Yeah.
To see him fly, I was like, wow. Yeah, no, it's really cool to see, and it's really nice that I guess with Busch Gardens and stuff, obviously they do educate as well.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to get that education about animals and endangered species and things like that, along with all the rides that we're obviously here to do as well. So here we are at Cheetah Hunt, a 30-minute posted wait time. Let's get in that queue. It is a locker situation here again, the same as SeaWorld.
Yeah.
So we drop everything in a locker and then we go in the queue.
You don't have to pay for them here as well. So it's $10 for the day, but you can move it around as many locations as you want. Which, as much as I begrudge paying for a locker, it's not too bad considering that you can move it around.
Yeah.
Please step into the coaster as onto your waist and buckle your safety belt.
Just off Cheetah Hunt then. That was a really good ride actually. I think it is classed as a family thrill ride. It was a 40-minute posted wait time. It took about that, so we're off at 12:05, so yeah, it took 40 minutes to get on it. Yeah, really good ride. We sat at the front. It's not too powerful, the launches aren't massively powerful, are they? Then it's not like a really powerful launch like that. It's not Velocicoaster style launching. but it does have a bit of a kick to it. And yeah, you could take younger children on that one. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really good ride. I think it's a really good ride for the park as well, because we do have quite a lot of big thrills here as well.
Yeah.
So it's a nice kind of mid-range thrill, isn't it?
Yeah, really nice.
For this park. So yeah, really enjoyed Cheetah Hunt, really good. It rode a lot better this time than when we came last time, so I don't know if it's the seat we were in, because we did the front this time. If we get time later on, we might come back and try the very back row and see how that rides. But yeah, at the moment, really successful first ride. So we're just headed now down to Egypt section of the park, and we're going to be hitting up Montu, which is a B&M inverted coaster, so exactly the same style of coaster as Nemesis, Alton Towers, or Nemesis Inferno at Thorpe Park, if you're more familiar. And yeah, this coaster was built in 1996, so it's a bit younger than Nemesis is, but again, another nice old B&M to get on. It looks so intense, doesn't it?
It does look intense.
It looks like a really intense coaster.
The last time we were here, I didn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
No, but we'll see when it's
Sat
at
at the back last time. We had one ride on it, we sat at the back. So I think we're going to try and go for the front row this time and see how we get on with it. But yeah, I remember it being quite an intense coaster. Absolutely love that there, front ride on Montu. That was so good. It's another, it's such an intense B&M coaster. I love it. It's another one of these 90s B&M coasters that was built, and just like Nemesis, just like Kumba, which we'll be riding a little bit later as well. They're just awesome. They're so big and they're so vicious and so fierce. I absolutely love them. They're amazing. The front row on it was absolutely cracking. It was brilliant. That's one thing I love about this park as well, is they do have front row waiting lines. So once you get into the station, if you want the front row, there is a separate little waiting area you can wait. I mean, you'll wait longer because obviously there's only 4 seats going through at a time, but you can wait a little bit longer and you can get those front seats if that's what you want. Universal are doing it with Velocicoaster as well, so it's really nice to see that they're giving the customer that option and the guest that option to be able to wait for the front if that's what they want. How did you ride a Montu?
Actually really good. I'll take back what I said earlier. It's better than the last time that we did it. I feel like the front on that is better because you get all the views, you get the height, but also it felt smoother on the front as well, so it was getting a bit rough.
So just heading out of Egypt now, just walked past Cheetah Hunt, and there's also a little railroad here which is really cool, so it'd be really nice if we get a chance we could have a go on the train. I do like a train.
We love a transport.
We do love a transport ride, yeah. So we're just heading this way now. I think from memory we go down here, and this will lead us through a little bit more of like the zoo section.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like the train.
There's the train. Oh, here it comes. So just walking through Africa then, they also offer a safari here at Busch Gardens, similar to how Disney World do it, or Tristan, I guess if you're in the UK. However, here at Busch Gardens it is an upcharge, so the cost per person is $50 plus a 5% charge plus tax. It's a 30-minute tour on the back of a safari truck, and you get encounters with some of the animals. They also do, for slightly less money, they do animal encounters. They can be animal specific, so if you have somebody in your party that's really into a specific type of animal, they have some up close experiences with them where you can feed them, pet them, depending on the animal obviously, and they range from $19.99 to $39.99, with the safari being the most expensive but also apparently the most popular at $50 per person, so it's quite pricey, but it is an option if that's something that you're interested in. Can you actually believe that once again we've come to this park and Falcon's Fury is shut? So we're really hoping to get on it this year. We were gutted we couldn't get it on it last year. Something's going to happen with it because there are guys in hard hats in there trying to sort something out. It doesn't look like it's a long closure, because last time we were here there was construction walls around it, wasn't there? So this time we can actually see straight through it. Not too sure what the issue is. Unfortunately it is closed again today. I don't think we're going to be returning here this trip just because of how far away it is from where we're staying. So it is going to mean that we have to come back. Yeah, a bit gutted, but as we've said before, there's nothing you can do when these things happen. Just got to get on with the rest of our day.
Yeah, we're just looking at this thing. We've never seen it before because it had all construction walls up before. Look at the size of this thing. Look at the contraption. It's just, it's massive. All that, and your seats are down here. It's crazy. But yeah, and it's high. But yeah, that is such a terrible shame that we can't get on that today. What a pity. Drop towers do really get me as well. Yeah. I do get a bit panicky and nervous before I get on a drop tower.
It's the one thing that still gets both of us, isn't it?
Yeah, and that one is one that is, it's on my bucket list. I really want to do it, but I'm really scared of it as well. So basically it takes you up and holds you facing down, so you're facing the floor as you go all the way up, and then it releases you and it drops you, and as it drops you then swing back out before you get to the floor. So it's a bit of a unique one. It's a bit of a unique tower to do. But I wanted to do it, and wanted to do it last year, but like Matt said, it was closed. Now this year we've come again and it's closed for maintenance again, so it's going to be one of these ones that's like it's going to end up being like a vendetta getting on this thing. But yeah, never mind. Like we've said before, these things happen, you can't control it, so we'll move on with our day and go and ride another one of my bucket list coasters that I've always wanted to ride. I did ride it last year, but I want to get some more goes on it, so we're going to head up to Kumba. Yeah, so here at Busch Gardens there isn't really any dark rides or anything to do. The experiences are very much with the animals and things like that, which, as Matt's already said, some of it is upcharge. But then the other side of Busch Gardens is a lot of thrill coasters and thrill rides. There is a Sesame Street license here as well, so there is like a Sesame Street section for little kids. So because it's part of the SeaWorld group, I think they share that license. So there was Sesame Street at SeaWorld. There's also Sesame Street and stuff here as well. So yeah, so if you have got little kids and stuff, there is a Sesame Street area that they can ride.
There's a few family coasters as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's a Wild Mouse that we've just been past.
Yeah.
There's obviously Cheetah Hunt that we went on earlier,
yeah,
which is really good fun.
Yeah.
So it's not just there are a lot of massive thrills, but there's some good variety as well, I'd say.
Yeah, so it's not just a thrill park. I mean, obviously the majority of our vlog will feature the thrill rides because that's what we're interested in. That's what we do. There is, as we have no kids with us, there's not really much point us going around Sesame Street.
Wow, what do you think?
That was awesome. I love Kumba. I think it's a really, really good ride. You can tell it's getting a bit old though. It's the same with Montu, I think. They're from like the same era, aren't they? So
yeah, they are.
You can tell they're starting to get on a little bit in age now. You can hear like the rattle and things like that. It rattles a little bit like Dragon Khan does at Port Ventura.
Yeah, it was very similar actually.
You can start to hear that, or you know, that rattle coming on now. So I'd say it's probably getting on in age. Whether they decide to take it out and put something new in, or whether they decide to retrack it.
I don't really know what they do with stuff like that here.
Well, they retracked the Hulk, didn't they?
They did.
That was kind of like I think one of the first B&Ms that they decided that was retracked.
Yeah.
Basically rebuilt, and now Nemesis is being retracked. So is Kumba on the cards? Is Kumba up next?
Maybe. I mean, they've still got Scorpion here, so that's still going.
That's an old sports car.
Yeah, I know. And that's still going, so potentially.
I suppose it depends on whether Kumba is still dragging the crowds in as to whether they want to invest and spend money on it. I'd say with Alton Towers, Nemesis is still drawing the crowd, and if people are still coming for Nemesis,
yeah, definitely.
It's probably worth retracking. I don't know whether that's worth retracking to
no,
Busch
I don't
Gardens
either, to be honest.
I don't know the park well enough to know, but yeah, I love it. I think it's a great ride. It's a really lengthy B&M ride. You know, you don't just blink and miss it. It just keeps going, just keeps giving. So yeah, it's a good ride, good solid ride. I really like it.
Yeah, it's good.
I just hope they do something to preserve it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see it preserved, definitely. We're just currently on the hunt for some lunch, aren't we?
Yeah, looks fine.
I don't know what we want. Last time we ate here, we had some ribs from round by SheiKra, but they weren't very good. Oh, there's a dining thing on here. Should we see what there is? Coaster Coffee, Zambia Smokehouse. I guess we've gone past that. SheiKra Eats. I guess we just keep heading round towards SheiKra. Some chicken tenders from SheiKra Eats. So we're going to take into these now. It was pricey again. Just over 30, I think it was $33 for literally two plates of chicken tenders and fries. They're not actually the fries that are supposed to be on the menu.
Matt gets so upset by the price of food, it's quite funny. Unfortunately, you're in a theme park, so if you want to eat theme park food, then you've got to eat it. It doesn't cost us this much in the UK because we have annual passes, so we get money off. And when we go to Disneyland Paris, we get money off to our annual pass holders there as well. But over here, we are annual pass holders for absolutely nothing.
Jack. Yeah, I do get upset by it, but I think in some places I can accept the price, other places I feel like I'm being totally ripped off. Here's one of those places. It's that 5%, it's that extra 5%. If you want to put your menu prices up, put your menu prices up. Don't stick 5% on top of it. It's my little rant out, sorry about that.
Did you hear that, Busch Gardens? Don't put 5% on top of it. So just finished our chicken tenders and chips, and actually they were really filling. Like those chicken tenders you get, like they were massive, weren't they? Yeah. Like I think I got halfway through and I thought, I'm full here. But yeah, they are expensive, but you do get quite a lot for your money, I think, and it does fill you up. So I'm not too annoyed about the price of it, to be quite honest. So I think what we do now is head on to SheiKra. So we just need to put all this stuff into a locker and get on SheiKra. SheiKra is a B&M dive coaster. So just had a ride on Tigris. It's so good.
So good.
It's so powerful. Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this looks rubbish. I don't think I want to bother with this. But actually, when you're on it, it's so powerful. It's so much fun. You get so much hang time on it, so much air time on it.
It's an air time machine.
Yeah, it is.
It literally throws you out of the seat.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the amount of force on the launch, like how fast it is, it's really, really punchy, isn't it? Like, it like whips you out the station so fast. Yeah, it's amazing. It's really, really good. It's a Premier Rides build, that one. It's built by Premier Rides, an American company. No, it's really, really good. It's made by the same people that made Icebreaker at SeaWorld. But yeah, it's really good, that one. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a slow loading one, so if it's got much more than like a 15-minute queue, I wouldn't wait any longer on that.
No, I wouldn't.
It just takes.
It's going to be longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah, we were going to run around and do it again, but then the queue built up a little bit, and you know, time's ticking away, unfortunately. So we're going to skip it for now. We're going to head on for some other rides in the park, and then on our way back through, we might see if we can get on it again near the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good ride, but it's just a very, very slow loading one, which is a bit of a shame for it. But yeah, so awesome. So I think now is SheiKra back open?
I think it might have just reopened. I was just looking at it.
SheiKra just went down just a moment ago, and now we think it's reopened, so we're going to head on SheiKra. SheiKra is a B&M dive coaster, so it's the same as Alton Towers Oblivion, but it's just a bigger one. It's just more advanced, I suppose, because the one at Oblivion at Alton Towers was the first one that they did, and now there's a lot more to these dive coasters now, isn't there? There's a lot more to them.
There's a lot more after it. There's a lot more of a coaster to it rather than just a drop.
There's a lot more elements and stuff to it. So we're going to head on SheiKra now and give it a ride.
Oh my god, this is exactly the one I was talking about. I hate this shit. No. What I say? Yes, sir.
Just grabbed a couple of rides on SheiKra then. How was it?
Really good. Really, really good. We did the front row and then we went round again and did the middle row. I actually think I prefer the middle row.
Yeah.
I got loads more air time. Yeah, it was really good. How did you find it?
Yeah, really good. I found the middle row a little bit more shaky.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Front row was a little bit more smooth. But I do like the front row of those because I like hanging over the front and looking down.
Nothing in front of you.
And nothing, all you can see is the track going straight vertically down. So I do like that. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. It's incredibly hot again today. So hot. It's crazy how hot it is. So I am struggling a little bit. I am struggling to breathe a little bit and walk at the same time.
Really humid again.
Yeah, I could quite easily just lie down and go to sleep now, if I'm being completely honest. But Busch Gardens Tampa is way too far out for us to keep driving out here on several occasions. So we get one shot at Busch Gardens because it's just too far.
It is really.
Yeah.
And like we said, we've hired a car for today.
Yeah.
There is an option of a free shuttle bus from SeaWorld Orlando.
Oh yeah, there is, yeah.
But for us, we worked it out for the amount of money it would cost in an Uber or a Lyft or whatever to get to SeaWorld. I think it's worked out about $15 more, and it just gives us that freedom to do whatever we want to do. Have our own space.
Yeah, so we can stay as long as we want. We can stay all the way till park close, things like that. We can drive ourselves. We can get ourselves back whenever we...
There's no risk of us like missing buses because we're in a ride queue or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So it just gives us that freedom. So we preferred to drive, but yeah. So we're just heading around now to Iron Gwazi, which is their newest coaster that they've got, opened last year. It's an RMC, for those that don't know. An RMC is basically an old wooden coaster that they had here already, that the company Rocky Mountain Construction, they've come in and they basically top the track with steel, so it becomes like a hybrid, it becomes like a wooden steel hybrid coaster, which is what this is. Yeah, as I said, it opened last year, and we rode it last year, and it was amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was very, very good. It's very, very fast. Blink and you'll miss it, kind of a thing.
Yeah. When you're on it, you've got no idea where you are or what the hell's going on.
No. So it's yeah, it's loads of fun. So we're going to head round now and give it a ride. As you can see in the background there, I've just walked past Sesame Street. Also, depending on what time of year you come as well, they do have little festivals and things like that on, like the food and wine they've got on at the moment. Because we're here on a weekday, it's not actually open and operating today, but at the weekends it does operate.
It operates Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you are interested in things like that, if they have like a food and wine festival and things like that they do, then potentially you want to come at a weekend. We've come on a weekday because we're hoping that the ride queues are going to be shorter, so we can get on all our big favourite thrill coasters and stuff. Because that's what we're here for. Awesome ride on Iron Gwazi. That was brilliant.
So good.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, really good.
Got to the top, just going over the breast of the lift hill. I looked down, it's almost like, I think it is actually a vertical 90-degree drop, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a vertical drop when you get over the edge. I looked down and went, oh my God, I remember this. And I just felt dread just inside and think, oh God, here we go. And then it just goes off the end. And you go off the end and it just flies.
Yeah, absolutely flies.
It just goes.
You've got no idea what the hell is
it
going
just
on.
goes, like that thing just...
It's mental.
It is. It's crazy, like it's probably one of the fastest coasters I've ever ridden.
Yeah.
It's crazy, it just flies. As soon as it comes over that breast, it's gone. And then we got into the brake run and the force on the brakes, like to slow that speed down. I mean it's doing like 75 miles an hour all the way around, and it gets into the brakes and the brakes take it down from like 70 odd miles an hour all the way down to this. Like that. In like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But it's not like a really uncomfortable brake either, where you jolt.
It's not a hard brake.
No, you just, and it slows it down, it starts it.
Really enjoyed it.
It's a really good fun coaster that is.
To get back on that.
I love it.
We were going to do it again, weren't we? But it's gone down.
Yeah, we're going to run around and have another go, but it's gone down at the moment, so I don't know what happened there, but yeah, it's just going around empty at the minute, so we decided to leave it for a sec, scoot it off to something else that we haven't done, and hopefully we can come back to it before the park shuts.
Hopefully.
Because it's right near, like I said before, it's right near the exit, so you can literally jump straight back into it before we leave. Swingy rides. Give me that belly feeling.
Yeah. There it is. Oh my god. That was good.
That is pretty good.
That was good fun. I literally feel it doing like side to side though.
Can higher.
Yeah.
The River Rapids is a water ride. Riders will get
Oh, one of my shoes. Yeah.
Tem uma cachoeira ali.
Soltando o freio. Oh, this is quite fast. This is really right. Turn now.
Agora é Ai, Deus!
I've never seen that before. That's quite good. That is quite good.
Você é a mais seca.
Quite a cool little rapids they've got there then. Really well themed. And it was really good actually. It's nice to be on a rapids that gets you wet.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Good.
It was nowhere near matching Popeye at Universal or even Infinity Falls at SeaWorld.
No, nowhere close.
It wasn't nowhere close to that, but it was a good themed little rapids. It did get you wet. It had some big rapids on it, so not just a lazy river. It was actually worth riding. Only thing I have really, nice big boats as well. The only thing I have against it really is that it's a two-station operation. They're only operating one station, and it's a stop boat system. So the boats stop, you load them, then they go. The boat comes in, it stops. It's not a continuous turntable like the ones we're probably used to in the UK. It's not a continuous moving platform or anything like that. It is literally, boat comes in, it stops, dead, people get in and then it goes again. Because they're only using one station for it, which I assume because it's a weekday, there's less people here, therefore they're limiting the operation. Unfortunately, that made the queue quite long, and it also takes you ages to get off it. So when you've actually been on it, and then you sat on the conveyor belt at the end to come back up to the station to get off it, you sat there for ages just waiting and waiting and waiting, and the boats are just stacking up and stacking up. So, you know, I think sometimes you can bring the operation down when you've got lower levels in the park, like on a weekday, but I think that, especially on a day like today where it's absolutely sweltering hot and there's a half-hour queue, that needs to be on 2 stations.
Yeah, I agree.
Limiting it like that, because I mean, now that's used up a lot of our time before the end of the day. It's used up quite a lot of our time actually. Yeah, so it's kind of limited, as a guest, it's limited us a little bit, because now we've got a rush to get on whatever we want to get on before the park
We were on it in 15 minutes, but with the waiting to actually start the ride once we're in the boat and then the waiting to come back in, it probably ended up taking about 40.
Yeah, it's not very good when you go on the ride and all that kind of stuff. You get wet, you have a laugh, and then you hit the conveyor at the end, and then you sit on the conveyor at the end for 10-15 minutes waiting to unload. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, like, it's done now.
Yeah, it's just, I'm not a fan of that at all. That's something they need to, they should really be, that's something they need to look at really, because I'm all for limiting your operation to save costs when the park isn't as busy. Of course I am. But the way that Rapids has been designed, it's been designed to have 2 stations, and today it needed 2 station operation. So that's a bit of a shame. That's eating up into the guest time, which isn't good, to be honest. But the Rapids itself, very good Rapids, very good.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, lots of theming on it. It was really good, really good.
Press the panel, please.
Yeah, you do. That is it really for our day at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. It was a bit of a stressful last hour or so, wasn't it?
Yeah, just because we're trying to get on some stuff before it's short. You know what it's like when you're running around going, another one, another go, another go. Just trying to get on as many bits as we could before we left. So yeah, it was.
Yeah, so we did the log flume, which was alright, it was good fun.
It's obviously quite an old one, isn't it?
It is definitely an old one.
Log flume. There's nothing wrong with it. He's still got like a decent amount of wet on it. I don't know how to say that. But yeah, he still got wet on it and stuff. It was alright. It was good. Just not like the modern log flumes we're used to, probably.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit battered, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A bit bumpy going around and stuff, but it was good fun. We did that, and then we came off there, and because of the time, we headed straight to Iron Gwazi. Had a 20-minute posted wait. We're hoping to get a couple of rides on it before the park shut. Unfortunately, that ended up taking quite a bit longer than that. So that was actually our last ride of the day. But overall, how have you found today?
It's been hot.
It's been very hot.
It's been a very good day. My throat's still down, I think. It's been a very good day. I've really enjoyed it. It's been really nice to get back to Busch Gardens because I do love some of the rides here.
I do too.
Really nice to go on Serengeti Flyer as well, which is new for here.
Yeah.
It's the same as what Thorpe Park have got, isn't it? But it's bigger here.
It's a lot bigger.
It's a lot bigger. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
And faster, I think.
Yeah, I was actually really nervous about getting on it. So like, oh my gosh, I can make my belly go. But no, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
It was good fun.
Iron Gwazi, just as good as it was when we rode it before.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. That last ride, right near the back, we were second to back, weren't we? And oh my god.
It was so
like you just get
so
dragged
intense
around that track so fast. Like you got no idea what's going on.
Not a clue.
There's one bit I thought, oh my god, like when it flips around like that. And then you got all those what do you call them, like supports above your head, like whipping past that. I was like, that was crazy. It's just crazy. It's just a really, really crazy fast ride. But yeah, amazing.
Really good fun.
It's great. It's amazing. I love it so much.
So I think the plan is now to head back to the resort. We're not too sure what we're going to do with our evening. No. We do need to pop into Target on the way home.
Yeah.
So we're going to pop into Target on the way home. We'll see what time it is then. Potentially head out to a Disney park, but depends.
Yeah, it depends. We'll see.
We'll see how tired we are by the time we get back and what kind of time we get back and whether or not it's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
So should we jump in the car?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's head back.
Let's go back. So we ended up coming back to the room because it just got too late in the end. By the time we got back, by the time we got the car back, popped to Target as well. Probably too long in Target. But yeah, by the time we got back, got the car back, then got the lift back to the resort. We were hungry. It was getting towards the end of like the night. Most of the parks were shut in. Epcot's fireworks were going up. So we're just like, let's just leave it now. Let's just get some food at the resort and then just chill out. But yeah, it's been a good day. Been really good to get back to Busch Gardens again. Get on some of those awesome coasters that they've got there and stuff. So yeah, really happy with the day. How was your day?
Really good. Really nice to get back to Busch Gardens, as you just said.
You look tired.
I am tired. I think the driving's taken it out of me, plus all the coasters that we were on when we were there. And the heat today as well, because it was insanely hot. But yeah, no, overall it was a really, really good day. Yeah, overall it was a really fun day. It was really good to be back at Busch Gardens. Enjoyed getting on some of our favourite coasters and stuff, as we said earlier. Yeah, it was just a nice day. I'm a bit gutted that we got back and we weren't able to go out to another park. But knowing how tired I am now, the thought of being in Magic Kingdom until like midnight makes me want to cry. So probably a good job we didn't. It's probably a good move in the end.
My highlight was definitely getting on Iron Gwazi again. And everything they've got there at Busch, I think Iron Gwazi is probably the best thing they've got there. I do love the B&Ms they've got there and stuff, but they are starting to get a bit old now and a bit rattly and stuff, so I think it would have to be Iron Gwazi. I think is probably my highlight, probably the best thing, probably the thing I enjoy the most, because it's so fast, it's just so fast and just crazy. But yeah, it is a really, really good ride, so yeah, really enjoyed it. What about yours?
Yeah, I'm going to have to say the same. Really, really enjoyed it. Awesome ride to get back on. Yeah, like you, I like some of the B&Ms. I do like Tigris as well. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but it is fun. And it's faff to get into.
It is faff.
It's a big faff to get into.
It is a massive faff.
But yeah, you know, it was good fun. It was nice to get on some of the new things. I'm still gutted that we didn't get to do Falcon's Fury, but stuff happens. It's not the end of the world.
If it's short, it's short.
Exactly.
If it's down, it's
There's
down.
There's an issue with it, obviously, because it's in bits.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. If it's down, it's down. That's it.
Exactly.
There's absolutely nothing more you can do.
And we can't time our trips here with when Falcon's Fury's open.
No.
So.
And we won't be doing that
Exactly.
in the future either. When we come back, if it's open, it's open. If it's down again, it's down again. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tomorrow we haven't really got any plans for tomorrow at the moment. We've loads of stuff we want to do. We just haven't worked out what it is we're going to do yet. So we're just gonna ponder on that, and we'll work it out in the morning, I think. But yeah, so I think we're just going to relax here now and enjoy our evening.
What's left of it?
What's left of it? Yeah, I'm going to eat. Got
Yeah,
that nice cup of tea and some fudge from Honey Dukes, I think, maybe tonight to end the evening. Yeah.
Classy.
But yeah, so if you got this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Please do like and share this video with like-minded people.
Of course.
To keep up with all our Disney doings and theme park shenanigans, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell while you're there. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.